shirt on.
This essay will examine 3 recent and interconnected disputes involving House Speaker Mike Johnson. This essay will examine 3 recent and interconnected disputes involving House Speaker Mike Johnson. These events have raised significant questions about leadership, transparency, and accountability within the U.S. House of Representatives. We will look closely at the facts surrounding each issue. The first issue is the recent government shutdown and the Speaker's public statements about it. The second is the stalled effort to release federal records related to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. The third, and a key link between the other two, is the delayed swearing-in of a newly elected representative from Arizona, Adelita Grijalva. The purpose here is not to assign blame, but to present the sequence of events clearly. The timeline of these controversies is critical to understanding them fully. Each event did not happen in isolation. Instead, they unfolded in a way where one action directly influenced the next, creating a cascade of political consequences and public debate. During the shutdown, Speaker Johnson asserted that House Republicans had fulfilled their duties. His argument was that the House passed a short-term funding bill to keep the government open. He then blamed the shutdown on Senate Democrats. He claimed they were holding the process hostage over demands related to healthcare provisions. The Speaker characterized these demands as both pointless and cruel. He accused Democrats of using the American people as leverage in a political game. However, a closer look at the factual timeline and the House's own actions presents a more complicated narrative. News reports and official records show a different sequence of events. After the House passed its short-term funding bill, Speaker Johnson sent the members home. The House went into a recess that lasted for nearly 2 months. This extended break meant that the chamber was not in session to negotiate a final compromise with the Senate. While the House was technically in pro forma session, measures to reopen the government were brought forward. Reports show that the House voted on at least 14 separate occasions against procedural moves that would have allowed for a vote on reopening federal agencies. The ongoing debate about the government shutdown became entangled with another high-profile issue: the release of federal records concerning Jeffrey Epstein. A bipartisan coalition of lawmakers in the House had been working for months on a plan to force a public release of these documents. Their chosen strategy was a discharge petition. This is a rarely successful but powerful procedural tool in the House. If a majority of members, 218, sign the petition, it can force a bill or a resolution to the floor for a vote, bypassing the normal committee process and the leadership's control over the schedule. The effort to release the Epstein files was gaining momentum, but it was just shy of the required number of signatures. The special election in Arizona's 3rd congressional district was closely watched for this very reason. The winner, Democrat Adelita Grijalva, had publicly pledged her support for releasing the files. Her signature on the discharge petition was seen as a critical step, potentially the one that would push the total number of signatories over the 218-member threshold. Her arrival in Washington was therefore eagerly anticipated by the petition's supporters, who saw it as their best chance to compel a vote. This is where the timeline of events becomes crucial. Just as the discharge petition was nearing its goal, when Grijalva arrived in Washington, prepared to be sworn in and cast her first official acts, she was met with a delay. Speaker Johnson's office stated that the delay was a simple matter of scheduling. They explained that because the House was not in a full legislative session, it was not practical to administer the oath of office immediately. This official explanation presented the delay as a routine logistical issue, not a political maneuver. However, critics, including many Democratic lawmakers and media commentators, immediately challenged this explanation. They pointed to the timing as highly suspicious. The delay, they argued, was a deliberate tactic to keep Grijalva from signing the discharge petition. In reviewing these 3 interconnected events, a pattern of contradictions emerges between public statements and recorded actions. First, regarding the shutdown, the claim that the House had done its job is challenged by the decision to enter a nearly 2-month recess and the 14 recorded votes against reopening the government. Second, the official explanation for delaying the swearing-in of a new member appears inconsistent with the political reality that the delay directly halted progress on the Epstein files discharge petition. Third, keeping a duly elected representative from her seat prevented her constituents from being represented and her from performing a key, promised action. These events leave the public with a series of important questions that demand transparent answers. Leaders must be held accountable for the choices they make, especially when those choices impact the functioning of government and the public's right to information. Journalists have a responsibility to scrutinize the official record. Watchdog organizations have a responsibility to scrutinize the official record. Citizens themselves have a responsibility to scrutinize the official record. When a leader's words do not align with the timeline of events or the legislative record, it is essential to ask why. Uncovering the motivation behind these decisions is fundamental to understanding the political landscape and the integrity of our governing institutions. The core of the issue is not simply about political strategy or partisan battles. It is about the trust between the electorate and those they choose to represent them.